Hello everyone and welcome back to another fantastic episode of Bedtime Stories with Yash, where I, Yash Sharma, reads you two new stories every single evening. Now with that out of the way, I have some exciting news, but firstly I want to thank you. Thank you so much for your overwhelming response on the giveaway. I have received 45 entries for the giveaway. Thank you so much. I'm so glad that many students are watching my stories every single evening. Okay? The news that I wanted to share with you is that we are coming up with another surprise giveaway tomorrow. So stay tuned for tomorrow's video wherein I'll be announcing a few tasks, and when you complete those tasks in real time, as in me when I'm reading the story, when you complete those tasks in this real time, you will get a chance to win something by the end of the video tomorrow. Okay? So with that out of the way, if you've not subscribed to the school's YouTube channel, please do so by clicking on the subscribe button under the video. Also, if you've not followed the school's Facebook and Instagram pages, the links are given in the video description. Please go there, like and follow the school's pages and support the school. Thank you so much. Now let's begin with today's exciting stories. We'll be reading stories from the book number 2, Birbal the Wise, and we'll be moving forward with them. So let's begin. Call him at once, says Akbar. Okay, so that's the name of the story. Emperor Akbar woke up early one morning. Moving his fingers across his stubble, he shouted, "Is anybody out there? Hurry up! Call him at once!" The attendant waiting outside the room was puzzled. He said, "Whom should I call? The emperor has not asked any particular person." He was too frightened to ask the emperor to repeat his order. The attendant asked another attendant for help. Then that attendant asked another attendant for help. In this way, all the attendants came to know about the emperor's order. There was a commotion in the palace. A commotion meaning there was a lot of noise and confusion in the palace. Nobody knew whom the emperor had called for. Birbal was taking a stroll in the garden. He saw the attendants running here and there. He guessed that the emperor must have issued some strange order. He called one of the attendants and asked him, "What's the problem? Why is everyone running around looking so weird and confused?" So one day, Emperor Akbar woke up in the morning and he was moving his fingers on his stubble. You see, a stubble is little short beard that you have. Okay, so he was moving his fingers on his stubble, and suddenly he called for someone. "Hurry up, call him at once." The attendant got confused. He didn't know whom to call, and the Emperor Akbar did not mention whom to call. So he was all the more confused, and he was too afraid of the emperor to ask him to repeat his order. Okay, so then Birbal saw all of this, and Birbal came to the rescue. The attendant told Birbal about the emperor's order. He said, "His Majesty has not mentioned anyone in particular. Whom should we call? What should we do? If we fail to get someone, we will have to bear the brunt of his temper. Please help us, sir." So if we don't call someone, if we fail to get someone soon, we will have to bear the brunt of his temper. मतलब उनके गुस्से का सामना करना पड़ेगा. Please help us. Birbal said, "Tell me what the emperor was doing when he gave the order." The attendant thought for a while and said, "Well, nothing usual. He was moving his fingers over his stubble." So Birbal could guess what the order was. He said, "Take the barber to the emperor immediately." The attendant called the barber and took him to the emperor. The emperor thought, "How come the barber is here? I do not remember mentioning anyone in particular while giving out the order." The emperor asked the attendant, "Tell me the truth. Was it your own idea to call the barber, or did someone help you?" The attendant was nervous. He had no choice but to speak the truth. He said, "Your Majesty, it was Birbal's suggestion." The emperor was pleased with Birbal's wisdom. How smart Birbal was. Without even being there, he exactly knew what the emperor wanted. Okay, so that was the end of story number 1. Let's begin with story number 2. Over wisdom. Emperor Akbar disliked flattery. Nobody dared to flatter him. Emperor Akbar did not like flattery. Flattery meaning butter polishing. Haji haji karna. One day, it so happened that 2 courtiers were trying to gain the emperor's favor by flattery. Finally, they said, "Your Majesty, trust us. We are ready to do whatever you wish. Please give us a chance to serve you, Your Majesty. We promise to do the task assigned to us in a matter of minutes." Now, two people wanted to flatter Akbar and gain his favor. So they were trying really hard. So they said, all of this, Your Majesty, please trust us. We are ready to do anything that you want us to do. Give us one chance to serve you, Your Majesty. Akbar knew very well that the two courtiers were only trying to flatter him. Actually, I cannot assign any task to anyone just like that. But since both of you are insisting on it, I am asking each of you to do something for me. So Akbar said, actually, I don't assign any work to anyone just like that. But since the both of you are so insisting me to do it, I am asking each of you to do something for me. We are at your service, Your Majesty, said the courtiers. We will do anything that you want. Okay. Akbar said, I want one of you to bring air in paper and the other to bring fire in paper. Air in paper and the other one should bring fire in paper. How is that possible? Think. Both the courtiers were dumbfounded. They said to themselves, how strange and impossible these tasks are. We have invited trouble on ourselves. Thinking so, they left. Okay. They spent many anxious days and sleepless nights pondering over the problem. They consulted the wise and referred to many books too, but they could not find a way to complete the tasks assigned by the emperor. So that's the Emperor Akbar with the two courtiers who wanted to gain his favor. So the courtiers, after realizing what kind of trouble they have invited onto themselves, they spoke to the wise people, they spoke to many people who could potentially answer those questions, who could help them complete the tasks given by the emperor. And they also read many books. But Akbar was very smart. He did not give them a question from the books. Okay. So at last, they approached Birbal. They told him about their problem. They fell at Birbal's feet and said, only you can save us now, sir. We beg of you to help us, please, please, please. Now Birbal took pity on the courtiers. He said, one of you should make a paper fan and the other should make a paper lantern. Take both the things to the emperor. I am sure he will be pleased. The two courtiers thanked Birbal and left. Okay, so they went to Birbal and they consulted Birbal. Birbal, being the kind-hearted he was, he told the two courtiers that one should make a paper fan and the other one should make a paper lantern. And take these to the emperor. He will be pleased. The following day, one of them made a paper fan and the other made a paper lantern and put a lighted candle in it. They took both the things to the court and placed them at the emperor's feet. Akbar was surprised to see the paper fan and the paper lantern, but then he remembered that he had ordered the two courtiers to bring air and fire in paper. He thought, it is Birbal again. Only he can do such tasks so cleverly. The emperor asked the two courtiers, tell me, fellows, who gave you this idea? Tell me the truth, or else be prepared for punishment. The two courtiers trembled with fear. They said, Your Majesty, please listen to us. If Birbal had not helped us, we would have failed to accomplish such difficult tasks. So they say, Birbal ne humko help kiya, and if Birbal wasn't there to help us, we wouldn't be able to accomplish the tasks given by you. Now, in the first place, these two courtiers were the people who did Haji, who tried to flatter the emperor, who tried to win his favor by telling him that you can tell us whatever you want. And then when the emperor gave them a task, they could not complete it and they had to go to Birbal. But the emperor also knew that nobody in his land was as clever as Birbal. Only Birbal could complete those tasks so cleverly. And he quickly realized that, the way they've bought a paper fan and a paper lantern, it is clearly visible that this was Birbal's idea. So the emperor asked them. After which, they said, Your Majesty, if Birbal wasn't there to help us, we would have failed to accomplish such difficult tasks. And then Akbar pardoned the courtiers after warning them strictly. He praised Birbal's wit and wisdom. So after this, the Emperor Akbar let them go, and then he praised Birbal's wisdom and wit. Okay, so after the end of each story, you will come to know that Birbal was the wisest man in Akbar's all of the courtiers. Okay, and across all of the lands as well. So with these stories, I hope that you've understood that Birbal was the wisest man and you've enjoyed Birbal's stories. Okay, we'll be having two different stories tomorrow, after which we'll be having another two of Akbar and Birbal stories. Okay, so let me know how you've liked these stories in the comments down below, and I'll see you in the next episode of Bedtime Stories with Yash. See you. Bye bye.